Welcome to Sideline Vibes, the Minnesota sports show changing the narrative of Minnesota sports fandom. But today we're doing a MLB preview, so it's going to be kind of like a whole league thing. It's not just Minnesota, but we will touch on the Twins. I'm sure we'll talk quite a bit about the Twins here. Today, special guests, baseball experts, the best baseball minds I know. Two owners in one of the most insane fantasy baseball dynasty leagues I've ever heard of. Taylor and Fick.
How we doing?
How you guys doing here? You guys are in the South Dakota area. You guys are locked in on baseball. How are the baseball watching vibes this early in the season?
Been pretty sweet. I got T-Mobile gives you a free MLB TV. So I have basically every game but So kind of just always, if there's a game going on and I have a little free time, boom, have some kind of game on, follows players I like, Twins when I can. Yeah, so it's been good to start the year.
Same for me. Opening day is my favorite day of the year. And so I either take the full day off from work and get brats and beer and post up in front of the couch. This year, had a 4-hour work lunch with a couple of friends, talking about work while watching baseball. So, so it's been great.
Yeah, Fick, you treat March or like MLB opening day like March Madness. Where you're always dedicated, locked in on that. I actually don't even know when opening day truly is happening until Fick sends me a Snapchat about it. So I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that to be locked in there. Overall, in the MLB start of the season, I would say this is the most dialed in I've been to opening day Major League Baseball since I was probably a junior or senior in high school. A little fun fact about me or my family, my dad and my uncles watch every single Twins game. They have done that their entire existence of I've been alive since I've seen them. So we got every single game. We'd be up at the cabin every single game. So my goal this year is to try to watch every single Twins game, or at least be in the know of what's going on in every single Twins game. So with that being said, that's my challenge this year. I thought it'd be a great idea to have
You picked a terrible year to try it.
It's a great point, but we'll get to the Twins in a little bit because I have some hot takes that you guys are going to probably just absolutely destroy me on. But what are some early surprises here so far, or some crazy things, or some big headlines into this MLB season that you maybe shocked you, surprised you, or just overall, who's caught your eye so far?
Biggest thing for me has been the young starting pitching coming up. More teams are taking risks on young guys in the rotation, giving them a chance to actually go, 5-6 innings in a game. You've got your Connolly early in Boston. Peyton Toley's coming right behind him. Cleveland Guardians got Parker Messick. Brewers, of course, got Jacob Mizorowski. All sorts of guys across the league that are young flamethrowers. And far too long, the old white guys of Major League Baseball love to hold back their young studs because they don't want them to get hurt. And I think more and more now we're seeing the young guys get a chance to actually go out and ball. And so that's been a great thing to see. That's been really exciting. And I think the second thing, kind of on the cutting edge, is just more and more teams are getting smarter about how to play good baseball and how to actually score runs and win games, right? So there's definitely lots of shitty teams. There's lots of really, really good teams. But I think that the gap between that is growing smaller and smaller every year. Obviously this is a Minnesota podcast. The White Sox have been a joke for 5, 6, 7 years now. But they've built up their farm system. They've got better managers, better GMs now. They're actually figuring out the right way to play baseball, which is pretty exciting. I think that that there's not just 5 or 6 teams now that are just going to suck.
Yeah, that's a good. Do you think just watching early in the season here, and maybe a little bit of tail end of the postseason last year? I feel like there was there a shift to maybe some more of like the traditional like I hate to say like small ball style of play, maybe more like a little strategic of like instead of just trying to like rake doubles, triples, home runs, that's all we're trying to do. Was there a shift at that, Taylor? Or am I just like tripping a little bit?
There could be. I don't know. I'm not sure on style of play. On that, I mean, I feel like the league's still a little 3-2. Like they still value the whole 3 true outcomes, like home run, home run, strikeout, walks. I think the things that I've found, the two I had, one piggybacks off Fick with the young arms. I just think like the youth movement in MLB is kind of exciting. Um, teams are starting to just call their studs up right away. Where like 10 years ago plus, it felt like all the teams were trying to keep their prospects down as long as possible to have them keep their service time. But now you got like Connor Griffin just got called up today. He's probably as hyped as anyone since. People are calling him like the best prospect since, and they're throwing out some crazy names. Kevin McGonigal from the Tigers, number 2 prospect. He's already
he does my taxes too. I'm just kidding.
It sounds like he would, truthfully. But he's hit the ground running for the Tigers. So that's exciting to go along with the starting pitching, like Fick said. I feel like with the starting pitching, teams have kind of decided before they were worried Tommy John was going to happen. Where now I think teams are like, no, Tommy John's going to happen. We might as well get innings out of him, knowing it's going to happen. Pitchers are going to get Tommy John at some point. They'll miss a year and a half. They'll come back, usually a little rusty, but then they figure it out again. And it's not a death sentence by any means.
Sure.
So that's kind of been a little shift to where teams are like, well, let's not have them waste innings in the minors. Let's have them in the majors if they're talented enough. We know surgery's going to come. And so that was a good point, Fick, you made.
So they're treating the pitchers like they're like MLB like NFL running backs, where like the ACL's coming, so we might as well just like run this kid.
Get yards while we can.
Interesting. You mentioned the
one other thing.
Sorry.
The one other thing I wanted to say too. The big thing is just the Dodgers. I think is like the Dodgers and what they're doing with baseball is just wild. How they had an insane team last year, and then this offseason they're like, and we're also going to sign Kyle Tucker, and we're going to sign Edwin Diaz, and they're going into the year as like, if you look at the World Series odds, I think they're like plus 200 to win the World Series.
Sure.
Like, which is crazy.
Which is insane in
correct
sports.
In baseball, where we think like baseball parity, etc. Sure, but like, I think the Dodgers are just doing with all their deferred payments and how they're basically not worried about any of it. Like, we're just gonna pay for everybody. We're going to basically have an all-star team, and we're going to be relevant and dominate. And I think it's creates a villain. It makes it, can they go back? They almost did last year. So I think the Dodgers are just what they're doing is kind of interesting storyline.
I did get the ick when Diaz came out of the bullpen for the first time, and it wasn't is it Timmy Trumpets, Fick? It's your guy up there.
Yep.
That they did give me the ick that they try to. You got to pick a different song to come out to, or at least have Timmy Trumpets come with like that. That they lost a little aura there with that, and that I'm worried that that's gonna come back to bite them. They're gonna become kind of a meme.
But don't you think the song shouldn't the song go with it?
The song should go with the player.
Like, it's kind of,
sure. I do
just not having Timmy Trumpets there is the okay.
Yes.
I feel
it was a different rendition. She probably did great for what she did, but like it was not the same vibe. It was a little bit off. It was like it was
LA version of it.
LA version.
The
LA version of it. But I'm gonna come back to that later because I have an idea, a half baked idea, maybe fully baked, that you guys can pitch to your fantasy football or fantasy baseball group, and you guys are high up. You can probably get that right on the front desk of some of the owners and whatnot. But you did touch really quickly on like the service. Do you want to explain that really quickly? Like because this is kind of a touchy subject here for Twins baseball. Is we have kind of this loaded AAA team, and people are kind of itching. Well, if we're not going to spend money, we might as well bring up these younger guys. What is the benefit of keeping those guys down versus just bringing them up and paying them like we saw with what's his name from the Pittsburgh
Connor Griffin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Peter Griffin, but that was a stupid joke. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, what is the benefit of the keeping him down, if there is one, besides being cheap?
So the real short version of it. So Major League Baseball contracts are really weird. Where when you sign a guy when he's 20 years old, his contract involves several 5, 6, 7 years of service time. And within a season, there are multiple deadlines. And if you bring them up after that deadline, it counts into the next year. So to try to make a long story short, the longer you hold out in the season on bringing a guy up, the more you get out of him at a lower dollar amount. So it used to be a stud would get called up in July or August after the Super 2 deadline. And that way you get an extra year of instead of paying them $5 million, you're paying them $500,000, right? So it's really kind of been an eyesore for baseball, but that's how some teams build good teams is by doing that, which makes them happy, but it also obviously doesn't help out in the long term.
Okay.
And it kills the vibes.
It does kill the vibes a little bit, and maybe that's why there's so much. That makes sense why I can see a lot of people being upset about that. Twins fans specifically, like you have this loaded AAA, and they're just they're being cheap on that in that regard. But like counterpoint, we know we're not going to be. We're kind of like not punting on the season, but we're like we know we don't have the we can't match up with the Dodgers right now. We can all agree on that. What's the benefit of bringing up those guys right now versus like waiting for a little bit and letting them kind of, I don't know.
Well, I think it's a twofold problem where you're right, but part of the reason the Twins are in this, they won't spend any money either,
Sure.
right? Because the Twins could be competitive if you have these guys. Plus, it's like, and we went out and spent. Like you look at the Pirates, it's not just that they're calling up Connor Griffin. They actually have a kind of an exciting team because this offseason they signed Brandon Lowe, Ryan O'Hearn, Marcelo Zuna, not guys who are like they're not making an insane amount of money, but those are perfect like mid-level guy like team guys where it's like they're pretty good they're above average MLB players. So now you bring your youth, plus you're willing to spend money, and now you have an exciting team.
Sure.
Like
that makes sense.
Pittsburgh has a lot of good vibes. So had the Twins this offseason been like, yeah, we're going to actually try to sign a few bullpen arms. We're going to actually bring in a few competent hitters. Plus we add the youth movement in. Now you're like, okay, this can be an exciting year. The AL Central's wide open. We might have a chance. But like they didn't sign anybody. They signed Victor Cardrini and Josh Bell, like washed up dudes. And we want to call our guys up today. I'm sure he did. But so it's the twofold thing, right? Where there's no salary cap, there's no reason not to spend money.
Yeah.
And now you're also holding the guys down, and that's where it's like, well, vibes are terrible now. You're just choosing not to try, and you don't have to choose not to try.
Sure.
Yeah, and to piggyback off Taylor on that, like Connor Griffin, Kevin McCongle, these younger guys, even the Braves are well known with Acuna, Ozzie Albies, some of these younger guys getting 5-6 year contracts when they're barely in the major leagues. It's the NFL equivalent of having a good rookie quarterback on a rookie deal, right? Like they're still making pretty good money, but they're not making top end salaries, which crushes your entire roster. And so, for the Pirates, if Connor Griffin does turn out to be an above average stud and he's an all-star, right now they have him for another 5-6 years at a much lower rate than what he probably would get after he breaks out. So, the pros and the cons are there, right? So, for the Twins specifically, you give these guys a chance to show up and play. If they're actually good, you're actually getting some value in 2027, 2028 to build around.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I would be kind of like remiss to mention about the new challenge system. Are you guys pro or con the ABS challenge system?
I've loved every second of it.
It's the most incredible thing I've seen in American sports.
I love it.
I do really enjoy it, and went to a AAA game last year in Omaha, and it's amazing in real time. Like it takes 2 seconds.
Yeah. It's exciting, actually.
At the same time, though, my boy Chuck Klosterman on the Simmons pod, he did point out, and this is the hard part, right? Like humans make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Sports are played by humans. So part of me wants to go with Chuck, but also, as a baseball nerd, I do hate it when an ump absolutely just brutalizes a call. So
it would be very
I
hard to
like
be
it.
an ump nowadays with the frame. Like the catchers have gotten so good at like everything looks.
They're so good.
I watch it. I try to like watch it and be like, I've been doing this thing where I'm like, ball or strike. I just like instantly like say in my head like, all right, that looks like a ball or strike, and I just try to like do it without the. I try to like look around the frame that it has on the TV, and what I would call, and it's just like. I don't know how you do it because the catcher makes it look like it always is like in that zone or near that zone, and so that challenge is probably very helpful for them. It also makes it really easy too if someone like you see a manager like start complaining about it. It's like see ya, like we have the back like you can challenge all you want. Like I don't have to sit here and take it from you. You're gone. It's kind of like good for everybody as what I've seen so far, but. I don't know. I do like like you said, the human aspect of like baseball is such like a nostalgic sport for that reason. This video is sponsored by Sasquatch Media. Sasquatch Media is the premier video production company in the Midwest for documentary and commercial production. Sasquatch Media is an Emmy award-winning production company. From commercial to branded content and TV series, they specialize in cinema quality production. They handle all aspects of the production process. A couple years ago, Sasquatch produced a hockey documentary titled Dream State. From a national airing on the NHL Network to winning Best Topical Documentary, Best Director, and Best Editor at the 2024 Midwest Emmys, to many film festival appearances across the world, Dream State was warmly welcomed back to the spotlight. A Minnesota Wild production and presented by TRIA, Dream State followed the legendary program of the War Road Warriors. A great example of this is their intro for the War Road season. It was shot on the frozen historic War Road River. It was directed, produced, and shot and edited by Sasquatch Media. You want a group that is hardworking and extremely passionate about what they do to share your story with others. Sasquatch Media should be your first option. Check out Sasquatch Media at sasquatch.media. SSQTCH.media. You guys want to get in? Let's get into the draft here. I want to hammer out some logistics for this. We're doing instead of a higher lower like we did with the NFL, we're doing a winner loser of divisions. So like first and last place divisions. We're gonna draft. Let's get to it. Let's start in the NL. Does that sound good?
All right. Yeah.
I want to end with the AL Central so we can keep any Twins fans that are going to be listening to this on their toes to where we could they win. We'll find out. Let's go NL West here, which seems kind of like a chalky division to say the least. Taylor, let's start with your first and last in the division picks
in the NL West.
Of the NL West. So which team is going to finish first? Which is going to finish last?
I think this will be the chalkiest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's much. I think I'm going to go Dodgers. Now picking a winner, there are some other talented teams. So maybe one of you guys wants to go off the board with them, but I'm going to go Dodgers. I just think their lineup's insane. I mean, it looks like an all-star lineup with Tucker, Betts, Freeman, Ohtani, Hernandez. It's crazy. And then the starting pitching depth is wild too, where they can, right now, Blake Snell is just not even rushing back. It's fine. He'll be back sometime. We don't need him. Ohtani pitches once a week. It's an all-star team. Diaz on the back end. Their minor league system's loaded, so that just means they can go. If things go south injury-wise, they'll cash in their prospects for another stud. They have one of the best minor league systems, and they like to cash those guys into. So easy Dodgers pick. And then last place is that, and then go last. Just say both.
Yeah. Or should we go? Should we go winners and then back around, or do you think?
I think just we can say both.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah. And I think last is pretty easy too, because I think there are three other talented teams in the division, but the Rockies are just an abomination. Their starting staff is hilarious of just washed up nobodies, and their hitters, they don't have a ton of excitement there either. Like, they're just kind of playing younger guys who might be average. And some guys who washed out on other teams getting a second chance. So I think this is easiest division. I think, especially in the low end. We'll see if somebody competes with the Dodgers.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and zag for everyone.
Yes.
I'm going with the Padres.
To win.
I knew you would, Mason Miller. You Mason Miller fan.
Well, Mason Miller's my boy. Fernando Tatis Jr. is my boy. But here's the story why on the Dodgers. No doubt that they are a behemoth. But when you look at the age of their studs, it's getting concerning. Freddie Freeman can barely walk. He's still a stud. He's gonna bat 280, 290. But I don't know if he's gonna hit 20 home runs this year, right? He's not gonna steal any bags. Mookie Betts move into the infield has not been good. He lost 40 pounds last year. He's healthier this year. But Mookie Betts is not getting any younger. His skills are declining. So yes, Kyle Tucker, Shohei Ohtani,
Yep.
They're in their peak. They're younger dudes. But I'm really kind of worried about the age of the offense in LA, And if we think back to last year, the thing that people are forgetting about, the Dodgers almost pissed it down their legs in the regular season, right? They had a commanding lead at the All-Star break. Second half of the season, they started to just shit the bed. And the Padres were neck and neck with them for the division. Padres have their own problems. The team is for sale right now after the owner died. That's a tough break. But their bullpen is amazing. They've got the top half of their lineup is great, and they play in a great park for scoring runs. And their starting pitching so. But they've gone toe to toe with the Dodgers in the past, so I think they can do it. And then Rockies is just easy money right there.
Yeah, interesting. I feel like the Padres are a team that I felt like should have won one based on like the last couple of years. I feel like they were just like a big name that I remember just a couple of years ago. They kind of went. It seemed like they went all in, and then they didn't quite get over the hump. And then it didn't help that all of a sudden the Dodgers just landed Ohtani, and that kind of derailed a lot of their plans. But now I'm going to premise my picks with a little bit of a disclaimer that between the three of us, I'm the least locked in on the entire league. You guys are well in the weeds in that regard. And so my picks are based on the vibe. So my research all throughout the week has been just like, which teams do I feel like have just like good vibes from what I've seen via social media. It has nothing to do with the analytical part of games. And so with that being said, I do have to I pick the Dodgers only for the reason being Fick, I agree with your I always worry about an aging roster, but Ohtani is one of my favorite athletes in the world right now. I just think he's like the most interesting
But his vibes are terrible. He sent his best friend to jail because he's a gambling addict.
Is it allegedly though? Do we know that for sure? Like, is that a for sure thing?
Well, I mean, does a millionaire just not realize that his friend is taking millions of dollars out of his checking account? I mean, come on.
Honestly,
we're adults.
If I was a millionaire, the way that I check my bank account now is probably I could see that easily happening. I feel like if I made that much money, I would have no clue what was going on with my money. I'm not gonna lie. So I kind of sympathize with that a little bit, like being like I have no idea. It looks fishy, but like he is so fun to watch, and so like vibes wise, you kind of. I did get the ick a little bit from the Timmy Trumpets attempt. That game. That's the only thing I've seen from the Dodgers is that, and I went, ugh, I don't know if I like that. But Ohtani kind of trumps all that in a way. So I guess I have to go Rockies. I'm probably going to piggyback off of a lot of your guys's lowers, except for maybe a couple that based on just like gut instincts. But from what I've heard from the Rockies, how are they so much of a dumpster fire? Like, how did that happen?
Ownership.
I mean, yeah. Like the one they tried to make a splash with Chris Bryant. That was a disaster. And then,
I remember that.
I mean, they're at the pitching. You can't pitch there.
Yeah.
So
Nope.
they're just their pitchers just get lit up because of the stadium they're in. I think they're trying to work around. They're trying to like zag now, and they're gonna maybe like embrace. I don't know what they're doing, but it's just no prospects, not willing to spend, and I'm not sure. It kind of sucks because it's a fun atmosphere. It's a fun like vibe in Denver, and
Sure.
it's fun when the
It's a
Rockies are
fun
good.
sports town.
So yeah, exactly.
Wait.
So you hope it turns around, but
Fun half-baked idea here for you. Little one. What if they just like decided like lean in like, hey, we're gonna like move our since we have such a disadvantage, we're gonna move our walls back
fences in?
back.
Oh, back.
We're gonna be the farthest back by like 100 feet. Like it's Polo Grounds, MLB the Show, like way back there. That'd be kind of fun.
I mean, I like home runs. I'd rather.
But how
just
fun would
make
it
a
be?
damn
What about
box.
inside the park home runs? You would like those too. Those are almost more exciting than home runs.
But now we're talking about fewer seats, less beers sold, worse vibes. I don't know. That's not very vibe-tastic.
But what if you put like stands closer to the action, but the it's still in play? You put a now I'm really deep here. You put actually seats underneath the playing surface, and so people could watch through the ground. Okay, never mind. That went off the rails.
Bro,
yeah.
Through the ground is crazy.
You know what? I'm just trying to think outside the box here there's a half-baked idea, and I got destroyed by that. Anyways, NL Central, with my little knowledge of the NL Central, I love De La Cruz just because he's so fun. But how good is their team? I don't know. I really have no idea where the Reds are at as a whole. I feel like I haven't heard them as much. So I know Pirates, they have some spunk, but I feel like the Brewers are always just like a solid choice there. It's either Brewers or Cardinals. Like I just can't really trust any of those teams unless you had the Cubs like a couple year stretch. So I'm just gonna lock in the Brewers as the top one. Just a safe bet. Probably should just went with my gut with the Reds maybe, but for the low, I'm gonna do a hot take here. I'm gonna go Pirates. Is that crazy?
No, they're trying this year, but I mean, you can't say it's a hot take when they probably finished last how many straight years.
Yeah. Nope.
I didn't like the first game vibes of Paul Nagimi getting out of the first inning. That's never a good sign. Like you kind of, it's tough to climb out of that early in the season, but this long season, I don't know. All right,
for
Fick,
me, I'm going with the winners of the division as the Chicago Cubs. Cubs lineup with Bregman, Pete Crow Armstrong, all sorts of Nico Horner, all sorts of dudes up and down the lineup. They're going to score runs. The one concern with the Cubs is their bullpen. Last year their bullpen just absolutely fell apart. Palencia looked good as their closer. They need a better setup situation. Bringing in Edward Cabrera in the starting rotation was big, so their starting rotation's a lot better. I'm a big Shota Imanaga stan. Think he's kind of been hated on this year, so really looking for him to have a great year. And then maybe a hot take here on the worst team in the Central, Cincinnati Reds. Exciting team. They're going to score some runs. Their problem is health. Hunter Green already hurt, can't stay healthy. Nick Lodolo coming off his best season. He's a stud too from the left side. Already hurt as well. Andrew Abbott in their starting rotation has already been kind of smoke and mirrors, and so I think they're going to score a lot of runs. And again, they're another team. Their closer, Twins fans know Emilio Pagan. He is not a closer, and so yeah. Sorry, Twins fans. Didn't mean to bring that up.
That's like the Bears taking the Texans taking like our sloppy seconds and being like, oh, it worked out for them. It should. No, it didn't.
Yeah. So yeah, so the Reds are exciting. I just think that health is not on their side. Their bullpen is very questionable, and so I could see things going south for them real quick. Losing lots of 8-7, 9-8 games.
Interesting. De La Cruz is so
All right,
cool.
I'm gonna go. This is a tough division. This division's kind of the opposite of the West, where all 5 teams, you could probably make an argument on honestly any spot in the division. For my winners, I'm gonna go with. I'm thinking I like the Pirates vibes, truthfully, to be opposite of Derek, and I'm considering that. Brewers are like a safer pick. The Brewers are they're like kind of a very just steady, smart team where you just know they're going to kind of be in the mix because they just kind of do things the right way. But this is a vibe show, right?
100%.
Sideline vibes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Pirates. I'm going to go Griffin's got the call up. Skeens, they want to try. I talked about the signings they made earlier where they're kind of in this Pirates ball. They're here where they're saying we're gonna try they're gonna attempt. They didn't sell off everything last year at the deadline. So I'll go with the Pirates to win the division. I think what could hurt them is after Skeens, just their starters are still kind of a question. But again, young starters, Bubba Chandler has looked okay. Ashcraft kind of has a little bit of buzz there as well. So we'll go Pirates, and then God, to get last, I was thinking Reds or the Cardinals. The Cardinals are risky because they usually are pretty good, but it feels like they're just in kind of a similar-ish to the Twins. Like we're just going to cut costs this year and reevaluate. So they didn't really sign anybody. They're playing a lot of younger guys, but I don't know. St. Louis just feels like they always compete. Like and some of their young guys, it's kind of do or die time for them. Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, etc. So I'm going to go with Fick and go with the Reds, mainly just because, again, that the Hunter Green injuries scares me. I don't love like Chase Burns. I don't know. He's a young stud, but they talked about him in the bullpen. Like I don't even know what they think they want to do with him. They're a fun team though. I like Ellie, like you said, Derek. I like Ellie. I like Sal Stewart. But I'm gonna go Reds. When Cardinals are close, I think for me. But we'll go Pirates and Reds. Pirates winning it, Reds in last. I love that. Yeah, that's a tough one.
I just thought of something randomly. Do you think it's more important to have like a solid 1 through 5 starting rotation or more of a solid bullpen? I've always wondered that. Like if you had to pick one, like you can only pick one or the other, which one would you like? Obviously, you want both, but like if you had one or the other, what would you rather have?
I think the math just points to the rotation, right? I mean, because if a typical starter goes 130 innings, let's say, that's 650 innings from 5 guys right there. A good bullpen's only going to throw 400 innings. So I think on the math side, rotation's going to get you 5-6 innings a game, right? So that value alone is too strong. But bullpens in this day and age are incredibly valuable. Sure. I mean, more and more teams are using just tons and tons of pitchers every year.
That's what I was like kind of wondering. I feel like starters don't go as far as they used to go. That's why I asked that, because I was curious. Taylor, what were you gonna say?
No, I'd agree with Fick, but you're right in that, like, you watch the playoffs now, and it's like they have their starters go like 4 innings. Like the minute they get into third time through the order or things get rocky at all, it's like, no, we're going to our pen and going to them. So it definitely made me think. But I'd probably still go starters just because of the workload and what they have to do in the regular season. But I think what Fick said makes sense, and it's a good question to ponder.
That makes a ton of sense. I was just wondering. Okay, we'll go NL East here. Fick, I want you to start off because this is your home turf here. This is your.
We know who he's picking, man.
We know who he's going to be picking. The last place Mets, I'm guessing.
No, sorry, this is great. Our one of Taylor and I's buddies is at the Diamondbacks Diamondbacks Braves game right now, and he's texting me to let me know how my fantasy players are doing. So
Oh,
shout out Jared. He won't watch this, but
he
uh,
should. He should.
uh yeah
We'll
um
post a link.
yeah
Yeah.
he works for the NCAA. He's very questionable. No,
Every
NL
person in
East.
that group chat is going to be like, "Who is this jabroni wearing the A's jersey? Who is like talking about?" I just asked if the starting rotations or the bullpen is more important during the middle of the baseball preview podcast. Anyways, NL East, your Mets are in
Yeah.
last place. Are you sticking with your guns here, or what are you where do you land in the landscape of the
Yes,
NL
we're
East?
we're sticking with our guns. In David Stearns and in Uncle Steve, we trust. David Stearns, GM of the Brewers, built that entire franchise, who just continues to pump out winners. Um, I like the roster now. Obviously, it sucks losing Pete, but our pitching depth, our bullpen depth is amazing. And as Uncle Steve has shown, he's willing to spend the money at the deadline to get the guys that we need. Having said that, the Phillies, I mean, their starting rotation is absolutely wild. I mean, Christopher Sanchez is an absolute dude. Zach Wheeler's going to be back pretty soon. Um, you know, I think it's going to come down to the wire between those two. But again, I think the Mets' ability to spend money and having one of the better farm systems right now in the league, we're willing to trade some of those guys um, to get better at the deadline if we have to. So I think it's going to be real close, but I have faith in the Mets. Juan Soto, start of the year, said that he's kind of pissed that he hasn't won an MVP before, and Juan Soto is a bad man, and so I think that with Juan Soto saying he hasn't, that he's kind of mad about that, I think he's going to show up in a big way this year. So give me the Mets. Last place, going to be the Nationals. Tough spot, kind of like the Twins of the NL. They've got some young dudes they're trying to try out. Their pitching's a bit of a mess, but they're going to lose a lot of games this year. Probably the most out of any team in Major League Baseball.
That's crazy how far they've fallen off. It's like crazy how quickly you can lose, like Soto from the Nationals to the Mets in the same division, and just like
Yeah.
you have to sit there and watch him. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Taylor, I'll go to you for this one. For this next one.
All right. I would have said, now, if you would have asked me this like a month ago, I probably would have gone to the Braves. I kind of like the Braves bounce back, but their pitching staff has just been eviscerated in the spring. Strider's hurt, Schwellenbach's hurt. They Grant Hall. I mean, it's been their studs have kind of gone down, and so I don't think they have the pitching to hold up, I think, against like the Mets and the Phillies. Mets vibes haven't been good to start the year, so I'm not also going with them. You got Bo Bichette already being booed right away, and he even admitted, he's like, they should boo me. I'm terrible, which is a pretty funny quote. But I don't like how the Mets just always have so much their fans are. The Mets are kind of like Minnesota fans, Derek, which you don't like, where
Yes.
they are always ready for like, oh, this is the worst. Like it's over, right away.
That's
Where
so
like Minnesota
frustrating.
fans are the same way. Right. So the second something goes wrong, like a losing streak, a hitting slump, a pitcher this, their fans are just like, they think the world, everything's falling apart. So I'm gonna go Phillies. I've always loved Bryce Harper. I There's, like Fick said about their staff, Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, awesome one too. Andrew Painter, former top prospects, now finally healthy, and he's looked good to start the year. So I think the Phillies just have they're just balanced all around, and obviously maybe one of the more balanced teams besides the Dodgers, where it's like really good staff, really good lineup, bullpen. Obviously they took Duran from us at the back end of that too. So I think the Phillies are the pick here, and then last place, also the Nationals. That starting rotation for the Nationals is just like, you just cringe when you see it. They have some young like potential stars. James Wood and CJ Abrams are fun, but so their lineup sneaky-ish, but that the pitching is just going to fall apart. Where when you look at the Marlins, I kind of had a hot take in our fantasy group chat. I think if we could just say, would you rather have the Marlins system or the Twin system? I'd take the Marlins right now. Um, it's close. It's not like they're amazing, but like Yuri Perez, Sandy Alcantara, um, are well, Joe Ryan's maybe better than Alcantara, but definitely not Yuri. I'd rather have Yuri. And then their lineup, Stowers is hurt right now, fine, but even just like an Otto Lopez, Owen Casey's already up and playing well. So I just think Marlins will be feisty. They won't win the division or anything, but they're at least feisty. So I'm going Nationals for last.
I'm all over the place in this division because again, coming into the season, you're like, well, the Mets obviously are going to be up in the top here by the end of the year, and that makes sense. But like, for some reason, when push comes to shove, and even in all other sports, you have a Philadelphia team in the division, and they have any sort of competent roster, they're going to be scrappy at the end of the year, and they find ways to win. And it's annoying. So for that reason, and the fact that they have our sweet Prince Duran, I have to pick the Phillies. Just in spite, not of you, Fick, but just in spite of Austinider, I have to pick the Mets because it'd be hilarious with how much he's been hyping up the Mets owner, and how he's like the basically the next pope, and how philanthrop he is. I'm gonna go Mets just a spite pick, and they're last in the division right now, so it's a good bet at this point in the year. I have the standings right here, and I'm just looking. I'm going based off just the standings in this. Yeah. But it's not for you. I want them in out of this game, out of this thing we're doing. I want the Mets to do well, Fick, for your sake.
Oh, they will,
and they probably will.
Hey, I'm a Mets fan. We've experienced it all. I've had my heart ripped out plenty of times. I've jumped through the ceiling plenty of times. It's gonna happen again.
And if it does, I'm gonna make fun of Austin. I'm not gonna make fun of you because he did it. He did it to you. He's cursed. Yeah. Let's go to the AL West now, shifting over to the other side of the other league. I don't know what I'm talking about, but we'll go AL West. We're going to go. Taylor, you start us off here in the AL West.
All right, AL West. Another good division here. I'm gonna say, to win the division. Oh, who do I want to pick on this one? Rangers sneaky. Mackenzie Gore there now. But I think to win the division, I'm gonna go with. I'm going to keep the Mariners' hot streak going. I think the one thing the Mariners have for them is they're just kind of a pitching factory right now. They're 5 that they had rolling into the year would be up there with almost anybody in baseball. And then Bryce Miller's hurt, but it doesn't matter. Emerson Hancock comes up and throws a no-hitter in 6 innings, and looks filthy. And then behind him, you got Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan, who might be the 2 of the top 5 pitching prospects in the game. Back into their bullpen's awesome with Brash and Munoz. So and the thing is, it's a pitching park too, right? So like when you play in Seattle, like they're going to just be in like 3-1 games, 4-2 games, and it just kind of fits their style. So I'm going to go Mariners to win it. To get last, I definitely won't pick the A's. I'm thinking they're still kind of on the up and up. Angels are playing all right to start the year, but I think that's a safe pick. I'm gonna go with the Angels. Kind of opposite of the Mariners, where pitching staff has a ton of questions. Jose Soriano's look good though, and they hired who is it? Mike? What's his name? Maddox. Kind of a pitching guru there now, and it kind of looked like it might have worked with how Soriano's looked. Detmer's looked all right in his first start. But they just don't have I just don't think they have 5 that are ready to go. And Mike Trout looks good, which is sweet. Anytime Mike Trout's healthy and looking good, you like it. But I just think when you look at the other teams in the division, I hate it. I always want the Angels to just kind of be good. I like for some reason every year I'm kind of high on them and they fail. But maybe this year I don't know. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pick them just because I think the other 4 teams are all pretty solid. So
Mariners and Angels.
Yep.
Okay. Fick, we'll go to you here. AL West.
Taylor's right. It's a pretty solid division, top to bottom. For the winner, though, I'm going with the Mariners as well. That pitching staff, it's so nasty. And then adding Brendan down into to the lineup helps that much. Cal Raleigh is going to fall back to earth because regression is just a normal part of life. But I think they can still score enough runs with that bullpen to get across the finish line. And one thing worth mentioning on this pod specifically, I actually got to go to a game there last year on my honeymoon against the Twins. And I would just like to say that the vibes at a Mariners game are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're right by the ocean. Everything's very chill, very laid back, easy stadium to get around. Food's really good. So the Mariners vibes are top notch. And then, you know, just to pick on Taylor, I'm going to go with the A's to finish last.
How dare you?
They're a fun team. Yeah, no offense to the Marshall A's, not the Marshall A's.
I thought you were calling us out here.
But no,
we got a good team coming back.
The Sacramento A's, I mean, their lineup is a load of fun. They play in a minor league ballpark, but their pitching staff and their bullpen is trash.
Bad.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, just like I said previously, like they're gonna be another team like the Reds that lose a lot of high scoring games. And again, yeah, they're fun to watch. I'm going to be watching a lot of A's games as I'm half asleep on the couch this summer. But I just don't know if their pitching staff can keep them in enough games to not get last.
They have this year's Cal Raleigh.
Oh.
Bangaliers, yeah.
Shea Bangaliers already has
Shea Bangaliers?
4 or 5 home runs.
What a name.
It's Langoliers, what you call him, but Bangaliers is just an awesome nickname when he's just an absolute masher.
That's incredible. They kind of have some fun athletes. Also, incredible color scheme and jersey.
Yep.
But I'm going easily Mariners and Athletics. And now you're thinking I'm wearing Athletics gear.
Wow.
Think about this though. For what they did to the Oakland community, I have to support their downfall because it's asinine. And I picked Seattle because it's kind of they've experienced that before. So like the vibes, this is a vibe
opposite.
Yeah, I'm creating a vortex of vibes, and hopefully that they correct themselves there where Seattle's gonna reclaim the division because they, like you said, they were such a fun team to watch last year. Like they have great fans in Seattle. Like if a city deserved good sports things to happen to them, I would say Seattle is probably one of those. Houston, I don't think they deserve it right now. Arlington, Texas, they have a storied career of sports history in that. LA, we cover that all the time. Sacramento doesn't exist to me at this point. So I go Seattle. I got to go A's. I got to represent. I know I'm wearing the A's, but this is supporting my Marshall A's and supporting the people of Oakland. So I guess, am I leading off this AL East?
Go for it, yeah.
We're going to go AL East. This is probably the division is this the most controversial division every year?
I don't know about every year, but it's loaded now.
Sure.
Like now that the Orioles and Blue Jays are spending too, and now they're up there, and the Red Sox and the Yankees are, and then you got the Rays who are about as they're savvy and good. Like this is top to bottom, probably just the best division, 1 through 5.
I'm just gonna go off of strictly again my knowledge of just like one player on a team, and one of my favorite baseball players of all time, Vladimir Guerrero. His son embodies exactly what he did. He's just like watching like a slightly larger version of him, which is just awesome for me because I get to relive it because he was one of my favorite. I don't know why, I just like loved watching him play and hit the ball. And so I'm picking the Blue Jays, and then for last, I have no better feeling than to put the Boston Red Sox down there. Shout out to Bill Simmons, but it'd be just awesome if they just stay down in the bottom for them jacking David Ortiz from us.
See, I always like it when the Red Sox are good, but not the Yankees. Red Sox are kind of fun. I like the park.
I like when the Yankees are good.
I don't know what it is.
I like when the Yankees are good, but then they lose.
Oh, sure.
So that's more fun to me. I also like when Boston's good and they beat the Yankees, but also
100%.
It's funny when they're really bad because it's like they are the most like they hate their lives when things are not going good for the Red Sox.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
But so yeah, I'm going Blue Jays. I'm going Red Sox, just for the funs of it. Yeah, we'll go. Was it Taylor now? Or
sure.
Fick? Taylor, you go.
It matters. I'll go last on the last one. I'm going Blue Jays as well. I think they're gonna carry over the momentum from last year. God, they were so close to winning the World Series. And then they brought in Dylan Cease, which is fun. They have been dealt some blows to their staff already. Cody Ponce is hurt. They're relying on Scherzer, which how long is that going to last? Hopefully Trey Savage comes back soon. But like you said, Derek, I love Vlad. They just kind of have a complete team all around. They have a twin, Louis Varland.
There we go. Shout out to Twins.
Yeah, shout out Twins. Another took him from us at the deadline move. That was probably the worst of the Twins moves because we had him under control for 3 more years. He's a Minnesota guy. That was him and Duran going were tough. For last place, I'm gonna go Rays, which is a rarity, but I just look at just the resources. The other 4 teams have spent so much money. The Rays always try to just play within the margins, and they're so good at it. They do have a good team, but I think the other 4. I think the Orioles. I think the Yankees and Red Sox will all be in that 80 to 90 win range, and maybe the Rays are more in that 75 to 80 win range, and it's close, and they just finished last. So I'll go Blue Jays Rays.
Not to be confused with Rays and downtown Brookings, right? We're not putting that Rays back down.
No.
Shout out Rays.
No, shout out the Rays.
Shout out, yeah.
Hey, ride that rail. Yeah.
Have you done that before, Derek, or no?
No, I have not done that. Maybe I did one or 2 times, but I don't know. Happy Hobo Days.
Happy Hobo Days.
Happy Hobo Days. Leave it at that.
Yeah. Fick.
Wet pizza in the rain.
Dude, nothing better. There's nothing better than after a hobo day, living life like a hobo would.
True.
Honestly,
true.
I probably was the most hobo that day. Hobo Day MVP.
You and Billy Hunter. Yeah.
Yep. Fick, to you here, AL East. Is this your like arch nemesis division? Like, is this like kind of like, is there like a culture war between the AL East and the NL East, or is it kind of?
There is. Yeah, there is. I mean, obviously, I hate the Yankees more than most things in life. I mean, but my children someday will, they'll be raised to hate the Yankees. And so it pains me to pick the Yankees to win it. But I have to. I mean, their pitching's legit. Their bullpen's legit.
Got to be like a emotional hedge, right?
Yeah, it kind of is. But I mean, their lineup's strong. They got some guys on the farm that can come up on the pitching side and on the hitting side that could possibly help out quite a bit. I mean, having Rodon and Garrett Cole on the IL right now, while the pitching staff is already doing fine, I think helps out. But the main reason I'm picking the Yankees is because I love the Red Sox. I agree with Taylor. When they're winning, it's fun. But their lineup right now is just kind of iffy after they lost Bregman. Blue Jays, I think they're going to have a little bit of a hangover. And the Orioles just can't seem to get out of their own way. I mean, the Orioles are going to be super fun to watch. Obviously, I love Pete Alonso. When Pete Alonso hit that home run in 2024 for the Mets to advance in the playoffs, I I was screaming as loud as I ever have. I love that guy forever, but it's tough. So I'm gonna go with the Yankees even though I don't want to. And for last, I got to go Rays as well. It's just the Magic's running out, and that offense is just it's poopy.
It's the best way to describe it. Just
Yeah.
poopy. Do they still play in the dome? I don't know anything about the
They
Rays.
do, yeah. Last year they played in AAA stadium because their dome got hit by a hurricane.
Okay,
Hurricane, or but the stadium got fixed. So the vibes are better now, but they're still trying to get a brand new stadium.
okay. So
Yeah.
I remember like seeing a couple games last year where I'm like, did they get a new stadium? I don't know. Never know. Let's go AL Central here. Fick, you're starting us off in the AL Central. Yeah, the wraparound here.
Yes.
Yeah, our Midwest homegrown division here. This could be a little hostile here. Just be careful.
Obviously we're all Midwest guys. The AL Central has been so much fun for so long, and maybe part of that is the mediocrity, right? Like every year,
Yeah.
70, 79, 80 wins can still win you the AL Central, and that's bad in some ways, but it also gives you hope much farther into the season than most teams, right? It's like the AFC North, it's like, or excuse me, not the AFC North, the NFC South. Like you might get in the playoffs with 8 wins,
Yep.
but I'm gonna have to pick the Royals this year. I think that lineup just keeps getting better. Obviously, we saw in the World Baseball Classic what Michael Garcia can do, what Vinny Pasquantino can do, what Jack Caglione can do. Bobby Witt Jr. is probably one of the most slept-on studs in the league.
He's
I mean,
solid.
in my opinion, after Otani, he's the best player in baseball.
Oh.
So yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And then that pitching staff keeps getting better. If Cole Ragans gives them 180 innings this year, 170 somewhere in there, it's gonna be nice. Their bullpen's a little shaky, but I think they're gonna score enough runs. It's not gonna matter. The Guardians somehow always find a way to be in the mix, and they probably will be. But I'll take the Royals. And I hate doing this, but I think the Twins are gonna get last.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe this.
Yeah.
What?
How?
How?
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I'm not. This is not a take bit. It's just the White Sox are getting better. The White Sox have spent some money in the offseason.
They're currently
Um,
1-5
and
and have a run differential of -31.
right, right. So I definitely could be wrong. I could be wrong on both. Right, the Tigers are really good as well. But I just the problem for me with the Twins is that, um, I think the pitching staff is underrated, but I think the starting nine is just abysmal, right? If Royce Lewis gets hurt like he does every year, it's basically Buxton and nobody else. Luke Keeschel, fun player. I think he could be a baller, but it's really concerning. We talked at the beginning about prospects. I do just really hope that they bring up Emmanuel Rodriguez and Walker Jenkins. Heck, bring up Connor Prelip in the rotation. Let these young guys eat. But sorry, Twins fans.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm going to start with my lower team. My lower team is going to be the White Sox because I've seen them be the bottom of the barrel for quite some time, and I just don't think they had that juice. That's all I have to say about them. My winner of the division. This is going to sound insane. And Taylor, I think you already know where I'm going. And you're going to be like, what are you talking about? Hear me out.
I think we all
Hear me
you
out.
think just I know where
Hear
you
me
think
out.
only I know where you're going.
Hear me out. Hear me out. This is not hot takey. This is actually why I think this way. Now, the only reason why the Minnesota Twins, I think, are going to win a division. Here's why. Hear me out. Hear me out. Are any of these teams strong enough to just like take the division?
No.
So what
Yes.
if let's just say until we bring up our prospects into the fold that have been killing it in the AAA, if we can somehow stick around that two spot, that 3 spot, what's stopping us from just sneakily winning the division is not a great team.
What's stopping us? You're saying?
Yes.
Are you actually asking that?
Yes.
Our lineup's awful, our pitching's terrible, and our bullpen's awful. We have nothing good anywhere. Would be the answer.
We've been scrappy. We're saying we were scrapping the Royals games. 2 out of the 3 of them. The one that we lost by several runs was a kind of a weird game.
I'm with you on that.
I like the culture.
Your logic
I like
in
the
terms
culture that's being built. Like they seriously think that they could do something in this division.
I mean, every MLB team thinks that same thing 4 games into the season.
Sure. April 2nd, Derek. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
Your
saying.
logic in terms of the Central being bad, anybody can win it. I agree. Last year, the White Sox had plus 5,000 odds on the same time, and I texted a group chat that why wouldn't you just bet the White Sox? Anybody can win this division. And Peja took my action on the spot. And so I put $10 down to win 1,000. And I was like, Peja, you will pay me $1,000 if the White Sox win the division. He's like, yes, I will. And then I sent him $10 on June 1st because they were not going to win the division. So
if this is any other division, I'm not picking the Twins to win the division.
Yeah.
If it's any other division, I'm just looking at it from what I've seen. Again, this is the most dialed in I've been in baseball for a while, and I like it's been ugly to watch, but I like what I'm like hearing and the vibes. And this is my vibe. I told you from the get-go, my premise is the vibes picks, and this is why
the vibes is crazy.
The vibes are good on the team.
Okay, fine,
in the locker room, that's all I care about.
And the vibes from the fans are like
we're the softest fans in all of North America.
But the vibes are coming more from ownership, like the fact that they just gutted everything.
We have a new owner.
Well, new owner didn't spend anything in the offseason.
Well, we also
don't have a new owner.
We got rid of our
family.
We have a new owner.
Family.
We got rid of our GM, or was he GM, or what was he exactly? President of was he president?
All like baseball operations.
Okay. Yeah.
Late into the offseason. So like, what does that tell us? Like, was it a conflict of like what we should be doing, and then we just ran out of time to spend money? Like,
sounds like bad vibes.
But our locker room is what I care about. What I'm seeing in the locker room, like everything I'm hearing and seeing from the players talking. I know that like that's kind of the thing, but like I feel like if you knew you were on a team that's destined to not win a lot of games and you're gonna be last, bottom of the barrel, you're kind of just showing up and going through your emotions, and they seem very much like they believe.
Not on April 2nd though. That's fine, but everybody has good vibes right now.
Sure, I don't know. I just
in
any other division, I'm not. There's no chance. But like I'm just looking. I just watched the Royals series. If we're saying that the Royals could win the division, they're not that far. They're not like holy crap, we can never beat the Royals.
We lost 2 out of 3.
I know, but like I watched those games and I wasn't like, wow, they're so much better than we are. Like on the whole,
but it's baseball. It's not going to really happen ever.
That's what I'm saying. That they can win. That's what we can.
True. I agree with you. Anybody can win the division. I get that logic.
Yeah.
I just think the Twins this year. I mean, we're bad. We're bad all around.
It's crazy. This is a crazy take.
We're legitimately bad everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if Pablo was healthy, it'd help a lot.
I'm banking on these younger guys coming up and kind of like taking those guys that we like, kind of pushing off the older guys that we kind of, you know what I mean? Like we're eventually going to bring them up. If we don't, then that just kills whatever I'm. They said that we're going to be competitive this year. So like we have a new, again, you say it's the same family. We have a new owner. He was disgusted with how it was ran before he stepped in. He said that. That was a quote from him. So like I'm just going off of what he said. Obviously the actions speak louder than the words. But from what I've heard and what I've seen so far, I just feel like the vibes are in a whole different place than where they were before. And I don't know.
What's crazy is he said we're going to be competitive and then spent no. Makes no sense.
Late. It was late in the process. I feel like it was way too far from when they let.
I mean, there's
go
still
of
guys
Falvey
they could spend money on right now. Like Lucas Giolito's a free agent. JD like there's good players still unsigned.
Maybe they were. Oh, they just made a trade
Derek,
today.
It's like Derek, the Padres signed the Padres signed 3 major league starting pitchers about a week and a half before the season started in Walker Buehler, Herman Marquez, and I'm blanking on the third one. And they're not great, but you know, to Taylor's point, the Twins spent no money. These guys are getting $1-2 million deals, and the Twins didn't even give them, you know, any chance at all, right? Like those are guys that you could sign, and if they're any good at all, you trade them for a young prospect or you trade them for something that makes you better.
What if
it doesn't even tell me that they're trying to be savvy.
What if they're saving their money for their prospects coming through?
You don't have to resign. You can sign those guys till 2036, 2035. You have them. They don't hit free agency till 2033. You could sign a stud to a 7-year, $100 million contract, and then they'd be off the books by the time you have to sign Rodriguez, Jenkins, Abel, all those guys.
Okay, so like I'm like because you brought up Griffin earlier. So like, what's the difference between not signing them now versus like?
So if you don't sign them to a long-term deal, you have control over them, and after about 4 years, they go to arbitration.
Yeah.
Like you still get them for sure, and like you either work out 1-year deals with them or a judge decides what they get paid. So the Pirates, by signing Griffin to a 9-year, $140 million deal, in their mind, they're thinking, if he's going to be so good that 4 years down the road in arbitration, he might be a $30 million player, but we don't have to pay him that because we've got a contract with him now.
Sure.
Right.
So like, what's stopping the Twins from doing that all of a sudden? What if they just like in a month do that?
That'd be nice that we have those guys. I mean, I don't see any indication why we would. Like, there'd probably be reports that like, another thing is they'd probably be up then too, right? You do that, like,
sure.
And they'd be playing in the majors now because it's like we're going to work out a deal. We don't have to worry about losing a year off their the years of control we have with them.
I guess like what I'm trying to say with the Twins is and this is my whole take with the Twins is that we can't use I know it's like easy to be like, well, they haven't done this in the past and we haven't changed the namesake of our ownership, but we have to treat this new ownership like it's a new owner. We have to. Because it's
the frustrating thing though is like in the MLB there's no salary cap, right? So this would be like if, I mean, I'm trying to think of an analogy. It'd be like if imagine I could get any house I wanted in Brookings. Like they're like, Taylor, you get a free house, pick it. Money's not an issue. And I'm like, well, I'll just pick this 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, whatever. And then there's a contest too for like who lives in the nicest home in Brookings. And I have fans who like want me to win. And they're like, that's what you picked? That's what you decided on? I was like, oh, that's what I wanted. Like, there's no reason they don't spend money. There's not a salary cap. It's not like he was like, well, you know, we only have $100 million in salary cap. So, and it's fair across the board. You can spend whatever you want.
Sure.
It comes down to the ownership. These guys own a team. They're billionaires.
Sure. So
and we're not expecting them to be the Dodgers, but you could at least like put an effort in.
Well, can I ask like what was like the timeline between the Falvey firing and the fact that we didn't sign like anybody?
But Fick just told you there are guys signed in spring training constantly.
Right.
Like the Falvey thing might have happened in January, but there's a ton of like I just said there's guys right now
other teams
who are like
signing them. That's what I'm asking. Like what? Like
he just said the Padres did.
I mean, like,
because they don't have a need.
Well, there's got to be reasons like there's not other teams doing the same thing. Like that's what I'm.
No, these guys have been signed since January.
It's like why aren't the Guardians, the Royals, the Tigers doing that? Like you know what I mean?
Because their starting pitchers are actually good, so they don't need these fringe veterans, right? Like you know, this is like signing a
sure.
an
the Tigers signed Kenley Jansen. Like there you go. Like
right.
They're trying like.
Derek, the thing I would point to,
sure,
with all of this is Joe Ryan, right? Joe Ryan was speculated to be getting traded all off season. or else getting a long-term extension, right? Joe Ryan is clearly the best pitcher that the Twins have had. I mean, Pablo is really good, but Joe Ryan has been one of the best pitchers. He's still young. They've had every opportunity to sign him to a long-term contract, and they have not got that done. And so that points to me, and the new owners, if we want to talk about them, they have made no mention of trying to, you would hope that a new owner would come in and say, Joe Ryan is our number one priority. We're going to sign him to a long-term contract. We want him to be a Minnesota Twin forever. They haven't said any of that rah-rah stuff, right? You look at the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. Paul Skeens, one of the best pitcher, probably the best pitcher in baseball, top 2, top 3. The Pirates are probably going to lose him in 2 years because he doesn't want to sign a long-term contract with them because he knows how much he's worth now because they didn't give him a contract 2 years ago when he debuted. So the Twins have an opportunity right now to try to build a core and spend some money and take a little bit of risk, or else they're going to turn into the Twins that we all grew up with, where
Sure.
Oh, these guys are great, but once they're 24 years old, they go to another team because we don't want to pay them.
Sure.
Could
they still do that though?
They could, yeah. I mean, if they give Walker Jenkins, a 5-year, $50 million deal, and they give Emmanuel Rodriguez a 5-year, $50 million deal, and Connor Prelip, starting pitcher, probably top pitching prospect for the Twins, right? Like there are guys they could give those contracts to and try to do that.
Sure.
I think maybe what's hard for the Twins right now, to Taylor's point, though, is that when your free agent spending is Victor Caratini and Josh Bell, you don't really have a lot to build around. If they would have gone out and signed somebody that was just even average on offense, it makes it a lot easier to build around them with young guys.
Sure.
I mean, even look at we signed Carlos Correa, who he wasn't even awesome. He was average, hurt a decent amount, but it just gave the team juice. We made the playoffs a little bit. It's just an MLB above average player who might have been a bit overpaid, but at least told the fans and gave the team we're trying. And again, we're not the Dodgers, but there's no reason Minnesota should be we should be a mid-market team, not a bottom of the barrel spending team. I think there was a stat that said if you look at all payrolls in I don't know, maybe it was 2020-ish, go back 5 to 7 years, where the Twins were at then, the amount of spending they've done now to 2026 is tanked, and every other team or almost every team is on a steady incline, right? As inflation goes up, et cetera. It's they're still trying to, they're moving with the market. They're spending a little more than they did 7 years ago. And the Twins are in the exact opposite direction. From where we were in that late 2010s, it was we're a middle of the road MLB spending team. We kind of try. We can't be the Yankees or whatnot. We're now, it's just gone to the tank mode. We're towards the bottom of the MLB, where most teams have been increasing spending somewhat. Twins have gone opposite direction, and that's where it's frustrating.
I think I would be in your same mindset right now if it didn't change hands. I'm always a big I've said this from the beginning. I have to let it see it all. I have to see it play out. It's
the same family. It's a different person. It's the same family.
Though, and he has a different background. He has a different
but
thought.
Even
he took it over for a reason. He said why he took it over. He was disgusted by how it was ran.
Okay.
And he fired the guy that was involved in a lot of the decisions that got us to this point.
What's crazy? There's two crazy things with that. One, they said the family that also goes into the terrible vibes, because the family said they were going to sell the team, and then they took it back and no, we're not going to anymore.
Because he took
that was bad vibes. Well, when it's in your family, what am I going to
It's not like he got passed.
Of course, you're going to. Every owner is going to come out and say I'm going to change things when the fans are mad. No, what owner would be yeah, but we're going to keep doing this too. We traded everybody, we're terrible, but let's keep trying it. That's the most cliche thing, of course, to say.
Sure.
Every new owner comes in and claims they're going to do things, and they didn't sign anybody.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I have to see it. I don't know.
Well, we'll see it. We'll see it.
I'm always big. I take somebody they say their word, and you have to prove me. You have to prove me wrong, and the actions, and obviously, like you said, so far it hasn't been. But I don't know. It could be.
I hope you're right in your
prediction.
prediction.
A variety of rereasons for why that was the case. I'm just trying to be an optimistic of I just look at what they're doing in their locker room, and
what does that mean? What are they doing?
I just like the culture of what I've seen, like the
They
positive.
get a boombox? Like,
No, I
like
like
they're
Shelton.
happy.
I like what he has to say. He's super passionate about what he does. Like,
they get a smoothie machine?
no, he just like it.
Yeah.
Like Buxton's a great guy. Like this seems like they all love. They're excited to play with. Like there was a beginning of the year. There was a video that came out about it was like during like spring training. It's like you represent this like jersey. There's like we have a pretty rich history of players come through here. Like all these names, these Hall of Famers that we've had. And they all have like really high expectations. And he made it a point, like being that you're representing them, you're representing this team versus like you're just here to do your job. You know, like I feel like we've had that in the past with, and it's just not worked. And I haven't felt like we've had a team like this, vibe wise, in a while. Even with the Bomba Squad, it was fun, but like that's because everybody was good. But there wasn't like a
those vibes were awesome.
They were, but like there wasn't like I never saw like the team being like a team. Like sometimes you watch like baseball and you're like it's basically an individual sport where they all are just like doing their part at the plate and then they go and it's like you don't see the cohesion part of it, whereas like I feel like I see that more. I don't know. I just again this is or maybe way too far in the reads and I'm just like I'm probably just a big homer, and you guys are making logically sense. Like it makes sense. I don't know what I'm talking about with baseball versus you guys. I'm just like going off of if I'm watching these teams and the vibes and what I've seen. I like the vibes of the Twins. I'm always going to be supportive of them, and I think you have to kind of based on this division, for thinking the Royals are going to be the top dogs. I just watched them play.
I don't think the Royals are going to be the top dogs.
Okay, well,
I'm picking the Tigers.
Okay, Tigers.
I'm going Tigers, and last place I'm going White Sox. Okay. I'm not picking the Twins. White Sox are bad. I think the Tigers, Skubal, Riley Green, McGonigal, they got Kenley now. They're trying hard before they lose Skubal. Sure. So I'm going Tigers.
All right, Derek. Here's a vibe story about the owners of the Twins. 2024, I went to Joe Mauer's I went to Joe Mauer's Hall of Fame induction out in Cooperstown. My brother-in-law is from Springfield, Minnesota. Idolizes Joe Mauer, exact same age. Yep, yeah. So the night before the Hall of Fame induction, they have a big parade. Anybody that's currently in the Hall of Fame gets on a float. They drive down the main road there. It's sweet. When that's going on, the guys that are going into the Hall of Fame that year are at this big dinner, and all of their guests, it's a super small town. It's like the size of Deadwood, South Dakota. Shout out Deadwood. Hey. And so when you're standing there watching this parade, there's people walking by with name tags on, that say, like Steve Rivera, father of Mariano Rivera, right? Like, so then that way that they're guests of those people.
Yeah.
So Joe Mauer's brother, Billy, who played for the Twins, he's walking by with his family and then like their other brothers and stuff like that. Terry Ryan, GM of the Twins back in the heyday, he walks by. Half of the state of Minnesota was at this Hall of Fame induction. When Terry Ryan walked by, when Billy Mauer walked by, people lit up. They went and shook their hands. They said hi to them. They thanked them, all that stuff. Then the Pohlads walked by, right? And I don't know which one is the current owner, which one's the old owner as far as who was there. But everybody with a name tag that said Pohlad on it, nobody wanted to talk to them. Nobody went over and said hi to them.
Yeah.
Nobody shook their hands.
They're not great.
The vibes were absolutely atrocious.
Vibes are bad with them. I agree.
So.
Tom wasn't involved in that, though. I like the thing that the narrative that it's like it's the same family, like the Pohlads had to sell. It's like this is a guy has not been involved in any of the things that have been a part of the last X amount of years.
That's not there. That's nonsense for a couple reasons. Number one, if that's true, if he has no baseball knowledge or any knowledge of owning the team, there's no reason he should. So the reason he has that job is because he's been somewhat of a assistant. He's been around it. Like you don't give direct, like Jerry Jones, his sons are around it and they're going to take it at some point because you don't just have a family member come and be like, so you haven't done anything with baseball in your life and you don't know how this goes. Perfect. You're now the owner. Like he's been around it. He's obviously been involved. You don't turn your team over to somebody who doesn't have a clue what they're doing and has never done anything with it.
Have you guys watched Ted Lasso before? This is kind of a Ted Lasso situation, potentially.
I've honestly only watched 5 episodes of Ted Lasso, so
okay. If you watch Ted Lasso, this could be potentially. This is my half glass full. I want to do this because I hate just being doom and gloom about everything. Because it also when like I feel like someone's trying their best to put a good foot forward, you have to give them a chance, and I feel like nobody's really giving this guy a chance. It sounds horrible, and people are going to just crap all over what I'm saying right now. But like, you got to give the guy a chance to do something different. And like you said, but we have no idea the involvement. All I know is what he has said. All I have is his word and what he said. His introductory to owning the team. He said, "I was been disgusted about how the team has been operated." Several months later, he fires the president of the baseball operations, who have been a part of the teams part of the decision that made the Twins fans so angry in the last couple of years. He's been a part of that decision. Do you agree?
Of what I mean, I think he's been involved. So to say that he hasn't had, like I told you, he's obviously been working for the Twins in some regard.
He hasn't done. From what I've gathered, he hasn't done anything involving with the Twins.
Last 2 things on the Twins, Derek. One, Falvey brought in a lot of these prospects, groomed him that we like. So I don't think Falvey's a problem. But 2, on your own free time, if you want to get deep, Google the Minnesota Twins balance sheet. Part of the reason that they didn't sell is they have a crap load of debt. So if you want to get conspiracy theory on the Twins, they have a boatload of debt on their books, and that's why nobody wanted to buy them.
That's why they won't spend money on free agency, because it all goes hand in hand.
Correct. And so that's another. He brought in a group to help to figure out that problem. And so this could be a year where we're just like trying to figure that all out.
But he didn't say that. He said we're going to win this year.
He said we want to put a competitive team out there. That's what I'm saying. But like, if you can't spend money because you're in debt, like you can still put out and have a competitive vibe and try your best to do it with what you have. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do. That's just Tom Pohlad, and I'm just going off of what it says here on MLB.com. Tom Pohlad said that it was only within the last month before he got asked to take over the team from the family that he began to entertain the idea of moving into the role. He had very little involvement in the baseball team previously, other than helping with managing trying to sell the team and investment discussions. That's it. And so he takes. Yeah, and so he takes over. And it could be just because he's trying to build it up to sell it. I don't know. It could be that. It could be the fact that he gets handed this thing and he goes, okay, so where do we got to start? Well, we don't have any money. We're in debt. So how are we supposed to start from here?
Yeah. We'll see. Obviously, yeah. All 3 of us agree that when the Twins are playing well, it's fun to go to Target Field, it's a better summer. So we all want the Twins to win.
Yeah. And I guess I'm fighting against all of the facts and evidence. Hand up, I agree. I sound like an idiot. But I just, based on what I've seen so far in the year, this is my gut reaction. This is a vibe take, is that I feel like out of every team that we have here, they have just as much of a chance from what I've seen so far from opening day to now. Than any.
We're 2-4. I don't think we have as much of a chance. I mean, we can still win the division, but it's not like we're 5-1 and we're like, see, we can. I mean, 2-4 is.
Yeah, but the leader is
not good.
The leader is.
I mean, it's early.
Yeah, it's very early. The leader is not like 5-1.
It is.
We can win 2 games in a row and be in first place.
100%. I'm just saying, when you say like from what I've seen so far, it's like it made it sound like we're like off to a good start.
I mean, yeah, no, okay. Here's just a quick little recap of it. We have in the NL West, Taylor, Dodgers, Rockies, Fick, Padres, Rockies. I'm Dodgers, Rockies. NL Central, Pirates, Taylor, Pirates, Reds, Fick, Cubs, Reds. I'm Brewers, Pirates. NL East, Phillies, Nationals, Fick, Mets, Nationals, Derek, Phillies, Mets, and then AL West. Mariners, Angels for Taylor, Fick, Mariners, A's, and I'm also Mariners and A's. AL East, Taylor went Jays and Rays, not to be confused with the Rays, downtown Hurricanes, and Fick, Yankees, Rays, and then I'm Jays and Red Sox, and then the AL Central, Taylor, Tigers, White Sox, Fick, Royals, White Sox, and then I went Twins and White Sox. So that is where I had one more just little thing for you guys, and because I thought of this after I saw, I can't remember which closing pitcher came out, but I have an idea that would be really fun for MLB baseball. What if they did for like closers coming out, or just any bullpen pitcher? We hide the bullpen. It's closed off. You can't see it. You can't see it until
I know where you're going.
in the music starts. It's like a WWE entrance.
Yeah,
and
it's incredible.
You hear the crowd pop, and especially when it's ninth inning and you're like, oh, you know who's coming out. You know who's coming out.
That one. But it'd be fun if.
Yeah.
It'd be fun if it's like the seventh, bases loaded.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah.
Lights go out. Are they bringing the closer in to get out of the jam?
Yeah.
Or, no, it's just like the seventh, the normal seventh inning guy. And your team starts to get familiar with everybody's. It's a WWE play, right? Yeah. Like what makes the WWE exciting is the Royal Rumble. It's things like that when you don't know who's coming next.
And the best, and like honestly, like that's like so much fun. Like, could you imagine, Fick? You put yourself in the position. You're like, gosh, we might need Diaz right now. And all of a sudden you hear, like, you have no idea it's about to happen. All of a sudden you hear the trumpet going, and you're like, the crowd goes, oh, here we go. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I think that needs to be.
It'd be a great vibe. I think it'd be amazing. Yeah, I agree.
Is it doable? I'd love it. Is it doable to do? Like, could we put the closers like in a basement? Could we put them or like the bullpen in the basement, like underground, and they just like walk up the stairs, and there's a camera guy like following them? Is that possible?
That's I think the tricky part here would be, we live in a world of convenience, right? So it's like when you go to a Twins game, the scoreboard tells you who's warming up in the bullpen, right? So we got to get rid of that. That's easy enough. You just got to put like a mesh tarp on the top of the bullpen so you can't see who's warming up, and then I think it's problem solved.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But Derek, speaking of those, if you haven't seen it yet, Mason Miller with the Padres, best closer in the game.
Yeah.
His new intro this year. He's walking out to a song by Korn.
That was the guy. That was the guy that I saw.
Yeah,
and I was like,
this
is insane.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and he said that the clubbies, like the guys that like clean up the clubhouse and stuff, picked out the song for him. and they told him like, this song is just gonna, like, when people hear this song, they're gonna freak out. Yeah. And so he's like, all right, let's do it.
That is intimidating.
So no, I love you. Yeah, I love the idea. It's great.
Do you guys have any like things you would change just randomly?
I have something. This might lead to a longer discussion, so I don't know if Fick wants to be around for it or not. Not too long, but it's
Come on,
gonna.
It's Easter,
I think you're gonna
Easter
disagree.
time. Come on, what are you doing on a Friday?
Derek, how do you feel that the MLB and NBA have basically switched spots in the last 5 years? Ooh. Where if you would have said 5 years ago, state of the league, the NBA would have been like so on the up and up. Things are great, etc. Yeah. MLB's a disaster. Games are 4 hours, and in the last 5 years, the MLB's been like pitch clock, ABS, changing the rules about picking over, steals, etc. And the NBA is just like tanking's a disaster. End of games take forever with all these reviews. Like, I think the product, I'm shocked that like 5 years ago I would have been on the exact opposite ends, where now it's like, I love a baseball game. They've keep implementing ideas to make it just the product so much better. And the NBA is trying to figure this out, where it's like, I told you, I'm excited for the NBA playoffs, but regular season, I'm just at my wit's end, where it's like the tanking's disgusting. And the last 3 minutes of games, these refs, it's just a review after review. The foul baiting's annoying as hell. I don't wishy-washy with that. I just was wondering your take on that. I feel like the leagues have like I said, switched places over the last 5 years.
The last I would say 2 years even. Like, it happened so quickly with the MLB. Yeah. Like, sure. I agree with you 1,000%. They've switched the NBA got a little. I think they got a little cocky and just didn't like change. They have not adjusted fast enough. I feel like Silver does a good job of trying to adjust really quickly, but some of the rules are not very well thought out. Like we have the 65 game rule in there to stop the players sitting out, but then it's actually kind of hurt some of the it will hurt some of the like the remembrance of the league, which I don't really care about, like the reward stuff, but the players, it's important for them. But what baseball has done has been so awesome because it's like they really truly have listened to the fans and be like, what's the two things that have drove like common baseball fans away? The games took way too long, and then the fact that there was just like the human aspect of like the balls and strikes thing just played too much of a factor in like the outcome of the game. And so those two things have been kind of like solved, and it makes it so much fun to watch versus like in the NBA. They try to do this, but it's like it's not well, like, what's the word? Well thought out, I guess, like how to like do it. It's like we have to combat this. We need to fix it. We'll try to fix it quickly, but it ends up making another problem. If that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Eric, I got a question for you. So you're obviously, as you said, getting back into baseball now this year, kind of, and especially with the Twins. What's your take on the Savannah Bananas? As a baseball old guy, I think it's entertaining, but I don't like it. I would never go to a Savannah. Well, I take that back. I would go to a game, but I don't like it. What do you think of it?
Just like
it's
everything,
not baseball.
Just like everything, you're very polite with like how you handle like what you just said. I like despise it. I think it's the cringiest. I think it's the cringiest thing in entertainment. The thing that I had the problem with is like, okay, it's a product that's like kind of made for kids, but it's become like this weird, like alternative cringe Facebook. I just like picture like people who just like are chronically on Facebook. This sounds like really like mean to say, but like chronically on Facebook, just like being like, I just want something that's like positive and like this upbeat thing, and it's like turn into like a thirst trap for like moms to bring their kids to, that like all these guys are like, I don't know if you ever like have seen highlights of stuff. It's like half of it is like lip syncing, guys stripping, going out to their at bat, and then it's just like, I don't know. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's TikTok
the only
culture.
Part
it is. Yeah.
The only part I like is like some of the rules they have. I do sometimes think like, I don't want the MLB exactly to do it, but it's kind of funny. Like if you catch a foul, it counts out. Like, so the fans are kind of in play. Like, that's kind of hilarious, right? Like I kind of like that idea. Like, can you imagine if like the home team like never tries to catch the foul ball, but then when I don't know. Yeah. There's just some like silly things like that where I'm like, that's kind of a fun idea. Like I don't want the MLB to do it, obviously, but just like you said, the choreographed dances are dumb. The guys on stilts. I mean, it's the Harlem Globetrotters for baseball, is all it is.
It is, and it's made for kids. But the problem that I have with the Savannah Bananas has been, it's been pushed to be like this, like this should be how baseball is played. It's like, that's not how it should be played. It's not.
Their owner does that. Yeah, their owner. That's what I'm saying. The owner is 100%.
It shouldn't be this type of thing. And they like, the other problem I have is like, this is like for kids and all that stuff. And like half the time it's like guys strip. Like, I don't know if you guys watch this stuff. It's like thirst trap montages, and these moms are like definitely just coming to the game, bringing their kids, like, that guy's so hot. Like, you look at comments of TikTok. I'm diving way too deep into the online world of it, but like it's like it's weird, it's cringy stuff. I don't like it. I hate it. I think it's like something that's just super cringe to me, and I don't know. But if you go to one, it's fine. I'll never find myself at one of those. If my life depended on it, I will come up with any excuse not to go.
Amen.
But yeah,
I'm glad you
Good
way to end it right there.
That's a great way to end it. Sorry,
baseball purists here.
Exactly. I cannot believe how long we went on this, but that twins tangent, I promise you, I'm probably going to cut most of that because it's just like us.
No, you can't keep. Honestly, I hope they win it. And you're right that the AL Central is not great. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, if you think I
Those are
should
good
keep
points.
it, you think I should keep it, I'll keep it. Because I don't care what I said. Like, whatever. If I sound stupid, it doesn't matter.
I mean, when they end the year 50 and 100, I'm going to be like, fine, pull it up. So you better not cut it then.
100%. I 100% will. Yeah, I will never. I'm not gonna. I'm only gonna say it. Like, I would just delete it if you're like, that was way too much. Like, long. That was too long of stuff.
That was good.
But yeah,
embrace debate.
Embrace debate. So, comment below who you think is going to win the first and last draft, the first annual. Hopefully, we do another one of these. Because I had fun. I learned a lot about baseball today.
Love talking baseball.
Trying to dive back into the MLB, and you guys, I couldn't think of two better guys to bring on, and it also helped me with my Twins. Maybe I'm like so hyper focused on the Twins, and now I feel like I'm like maybe I'm a little over my skis now. I gotta go reflect a little bit, but calm myself down a little bit. I gotta pour some cold water on me after we just won against the Royals, but
Dirk, you can't cool down now because tomorrow is the best day of the year in Minneapolis. It's Friday is Twins opening day.
It is. It's true.
Right? Tomorrow's the first game at Target Field.
Yeah.
Target Field.
Yeah. What if we just like? Never mind. I'm not going to dive into this again. But like, the moral of this whole story is I don't want. There's nothing better than enjoying a baseball game in person.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't want, as much as everybody hates the poll ads, I get it, I understand it. Don't ruin your experience of going to a baseball game for that reason. Go. Yep. The players deserve it. Byron Buxton deserves it. That guy's an awesome guy. Joe Ryan deserves it. The players deserve it. Cheer for the players. Boo the poll ads. I don't care what you do out there, but go to a baseball game. Enjoy some baseball. Watch some baseball. Baseball's back, baby. Baseball's back.
Yep.
Do you guys have any parting words? Anything you want to plug? Anything that you are just like, hey, here's a off the cuff take that I have?
Oh,
like bedtime.
No, I mean, all I would say is echo what Derek said. Get to a baseball game. It could be local amateur team. It could be the Twins. It could be whomever.
The Marshall A's.
St. Paul Saints. Just get to a game.
Yeah.
That was a great pitch to end it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, guys, for coming on, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.
All right.
Later.
Go Mets.